now's the time I add my wonderful sauce. So I'm going to add my brown sugar sauce with Jack Daniel's, cayenne pepper, and a little bit of that soy. I'm going to glaze it right over the top. And you're going to see how that will now caramelize with the heat of the broiler and give it a wonderful, wonderful dark mahogany finish and almost like a candied praline finish. It sounds sweet, but with the garlic and the bacon seasoning that I put on there before, this salmon is only going to have just a light hint of sweetness over the top, and it's going to stay very savory and very wonderful. My favorite way to enjoy salmon. So now that that's on, I'll pop it back underneath and let it finish its cooking. We're doing apples for dessert.
We're doing apples for dessert. They're going to be poached in a liquid. We'll get to the liquid shortly. But can you tell me what size core that is?
That's about 3/4 of an inch.
Is it a 40 or is it the 357?
Oh, dear God, Bob.
Because,
I think,
you know, down where I live in Burleson, Texas, this is the way we core.
well, inside the city limits, Bob, let me
right.
give you an alternative that might be a little less, you know, bail bond intensive.
All right, take away my phone.
Another one of those wonderful little gadgets right here is the apple core. You know, again, not something you use all the time, but when you need it, you got to have it.
That was one of your favorite tools
It
last
is.
year.
And I'll tell you what,
It's
one of those things, you don't use it but maybe 2 or 3 months out of the year,
right.
and all of a sudden when you need it, you got it.
You got it.
So instead of shooting it, we're just going to punch it out, and we'll turn it. And now,
357.
I got dessert without a bail bond here, right here. We got a couple of your apples poaching
We've
right
got
here.
them poaching. We're going to put
Tell
that
me
one
about
right
what
in.
you got going there, Bob.
Well, we've got some poached apples. The apples are being poached in a new bourbon that Scotty ran across. It is, it's called Root, and that's what it is. It is a whiskey that tastes like root beer. And man, let me tell you, you talk about fun, getting a buzz on, this will do it. But it's 80 proof. I've got a little bit of butter in there to cause a little bit of glaze. We've added a little bit of root beer for the sugar.
Actually, Bob, we don't do root beer around here. This is Dallas, Texas. We put Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. We had root beer in the whiskey.
This is a North Texas thing. We've got root, this new bourbon, this new whiskey.
And oh man.
And it's really awesome. It's got cardamom, it's got cinnamon, a little bit of orange, and birch root on it. It tastes like another, you know, as we should. A really great, strong flavor.
Man, it is beautiful.
We toned it down with a couple of 3 cans of Dr. Pepper. This is a delicious. This is a real North Texas holiday celebration, and one your guests are going to be remembering, if they can, for a long time. So we're going to let this poach. Now, if you'll take a look at this liqueur that we got going here, that's kind of what we call the poaching liquid. These apples are just gorgeous. They're a little firm. You don't want to let them go to the point where they're mush. You want to keep a nice little firm texture.
You want to be able to put ice cream or
Exactly.
something like that over the top of them that will hold them up, hold them together, and give it a real good flavor.
Well, you know, the cool thing about this is, Bob, is that you can do this ahead of time. This gives you, this is a wonderful opportunity to do it ahead of time. Kind of put them in the refrigerator, let them chill. These are great for breakfast. Over a waffle, kind of a nice little lunch finish, or as a great, you know, centerpiece dessert.
Chop them up over ice cream.
Oh man, ice cream. One of my favorite things: take a little bit of pound cake, frozen pound cake, butter it, toast them up, put a little sliced apple over it. Then I got a great little sauce to kind of finish it off.
And you're doing the sauce too.
I'm doing the sauce right now too. So we're going to finish up on the poached apples. One thing I want to share with you. Once you take the apples out, don't throw that sauce away.
No.
All that birch liqueur and everything in there. cook it down. Now keep an eye on it. If it gets too thick, it's going to burn. But if you cook it down and
Make
reduce
syrup
it,
out of it.
make a syrup out of it. That'd be a wonderful little drizzle over the top, kind of taking all those wonderful flavors you put into the apple, concentrating.
Pancakes in the morning.
I like the way you feel, sir. All right, Bob. I'm going to run over here and do my sauce real quick, and then I want to show you my salmon, which just came out of the oven. In fact, let me do that right now. And then, here we go. Check these bad boys out. Nice caramelized finish on the top. Just enough of that glaze on there to give it a sweet little piquant taste on the top. It's cooked all the way through to the bottom, but not overdone, so you still have those wonderful oils.
It's going to be juicy.
Here's my secret recipe of the day. Boiled can. Makes the best sauce in the world. This is an old recipe for a long time. This is Dolce de Leche.
I think I dated.
Yeah, I did it.
Boiled can.
I know. Her mom just called. You're in trouble, Bob.
Okay.
So what I did was, this is nothing but sweetened condensed milk. And it doesn't matter what brand you use. But sweetened condensed, not evaporated milk. I took the labels off. I've boiled them. These are just exposed a little bit, but it's probably best that you keep them submerged for the entire period of time. I've got a nice rolling boil, and I'm boiling them now for about 3 hours. That's really important. Now, once they're done, after 3 hours, take them out, and as I'm about to do right now, I'm going to take it over to the sink. I'm just going to run some cold water over it here, and just chill them. Now, if you open them right now, there's a good chance you're going to get splashed with a very hot substance.
Hot milk, yes.
Don't do that. Give them at least 15 minutes under cold water to let them cool down. But when you open this can, as we're about to do for you right in front of you, you've got the most elegant caramel sauce you've ever imagined. Absolutely phenomenal. You can do anything with it. Add a little, say, a cream liqueur, or a spice. Now, one thing I wanted to share with you, Bob,
this time of year, a lot of people are getting the Godiva chocolates.
Oh, that is
okay.
Awesome.
That inside that Dolce de Leche is awesome.
Caramel on cardboard is probably one of the best meals. But here's my secret weapon for the holidays. And if you have nothing else in your pantry, this is the way to go. Pumpkin pie spice. This is the get-out-of-jail-free card spice, and you must have it.
He's nervous.
I shake when I hold it. Pumpkin pie spice is a combination of cardamom, cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, allspice, all of them put together in a perfect blend. If you went and bought the individual spices, it probably cost you around $40.
At least.
For $4, I have them all right here in my back pocket. Now, everybody says, well, I don't make that much pumpkin pie. But you do cook chicken breasts. You do roast whole chickens. How about a pork loin? Even on a steak or in Dolce de Leche. Right. There's a million ways to do this. Sprinkle this over eggs in the morning. Try it. It is so versatile. It is so much fun. It is the get-out-of-jail-free card right here for the holiday finish. It's wonderful in apple cider as a wassail. It's a great spice to do and kind of poach your apples with for the holidays. It's
apple sauce with your pork loin.
Oh, now you're talking.
Do that? Oh my God.
Don't leave home without it, okay? So let's check out our sauce and see how it worked out. In the interest of time, yeah, look at that. That is the most perfect little caramel sauce. I'm going to put it in a bowl, hit it with a little pumpkin pie spice. We're going to slice up the apples, and in just a minute, we're going to plate up the most wonderful little dessert you've ever seen. How easy can that be?
You know, Scotty, I've had the steaks resting now for about 15 minutes. I think the salmon is ready to plate. Our roasted potatoes should be real close.
Sorry.
It's all right. I can talk over a waterfall.
Sorry.
We're just about ready to start plating up. I'm going to grab some plates over here. We've got 4 right here. I'm going to grab a 5th one over here. Salmon skin's real good.
Yeah, but that's all right, Bob. You know, this is a great time to remove the skin.
Yes, it is.
And it's really nice that it lifts right off. You've got it just like that. And look how flaky, buttery
It's
that
just,
salmon is. It is just perfectly cooked.
It is. It smells phenomenal. We've got that. I'll put that right there. I'm going to grab another steak and another piece of salmon. And see, it'll just peel right off of that skin. The Japanese take the skin, make sure it's scaled, they cut it into small strips, and they cook it in a toaster oven.
Those guys are crazy.
It becomes crunchy.
Ooh.
And they roll it in nori, which is seaweed,
right?
The seaweed roll, and rice. They call it salmon skin roll, and it tastes like bacon. It is phenomenally good, phenomenally good. So make sure you get your fishmonger to scale your salmon so you have some good salmon skin to toast. Eat it as bacon.
So you got raw garlic and your butter.
Raw garlic and butter right on top of the steak.
Oh, Bob, you have any butter? I love that.
Now, I did not put garlic on the steak on purpose because I knew I was going to have garlic in my butter. Now, the butter will melt slightly, and we'll be able to go from there.
Awesome. That
All
looks
right.
like a meal fit for us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Nice little plated surf and turf, a little bit of roasted potatoes. Potatoes are easy. Leave the skin on, wash them real good, stick them in a roasting pan, cover them with extra virgin olive oil, or I used canola oil. If you're worried about saturated fats or non-saturated fats, there's always a way to get around that. EVOO is great to use, but we used canola on this. It's wonderful. I used a little bit of rosemary that I chopped up fresh, sprinkled over the top of it, put it in the oven to roast, and voila, it's done.
All right, Bob, while you're finishing up on the plate up for dinner, I'm getting dessert done. I've taken those beautiful apples that you've taken, and they are cooked perfectly. I mean, they're just nice and a little bit of a crunch in the middle.
Al dente?
Al dente, yeah, and beautiful. And I've made a little sauce here. What I've done, I've taken that wonderful broth of Dr. Pepper and the root beer bourbon, and I've made a paste out of it using this ginger snap peanut butter.
All right.
It's called Biscoff
Biscoff.
spread, and it's a really thick kind of wonderful broth. I'm gonna thin it out with a little bit more of your sauce here, and kind of make it a little bit thinner. Oh, but the smell of it! I wish you could be here right now. We need smell-o-vision because
Yeah, we do.
This is just awesome. So now I've got the root beer-like finish of the liqueur. I've got ginger snaps and Dr. Pepper. I'm going to add a little bit more of this broth, get a little more aggressive with it. And there we go. So I've got my poached apples in a couple of bowls, and that's the consistency I'm looking for right there. Really creamy, thick, and gooey. And what I'm looking to do is try to create a couple of different flavors. So each bite kind of gives you a different assortment of flavors. So I've got this, this wonderful ginger snap, kind of warm, Christmassy sauce. And I'm going to take that and just kind of drizzle that over the apples in kind of a haphazard way. And then I'm going to come back and finish it with my other sauce, which was the Dolce de Leche, which I added about a teaspoon of the pumpkin spice that I was talking so much about. And the two sauces together will make you wonder.
Peanut butter ice cream.
Well, it's better than peanut
Yeah.
butter. It's actually, but see, now you got these two different colors and two different flavors kind of blending together over that warm, spicy, root beer flavored apple. And holy cow, a little vanilla ice cream will be jumping in the bowl, and toasted pound cake would be amazing. But, I think what I'm going to do to finish that is just finish it with a nice texture, just to give it some crunch and a couple of things to actually make it easy to grab that last little bit of sauce. So here's a couple of ginger snaps on top, and if this doesn't make your toes curl and your eyes just kind of gently roll back up, you better stop breathing air, you know what I mean? This is the holidays in a bowl right here. And that's just how easy it is, Bob. When you put your heart into it, when you put your love into it, when you put your passion into it, and you have this around a table with good friends, that's as much of the holidays as anybody could possibly want.
And you know what? This can end up being a perfect Christmas present for a friend that you don't know what to buy for.
Amen.
You fix them a little dinner. Invite them, their husband over, and cook them a little dinner. It's simple. It's easy. Who doesn't like surf and turf?
Wow.
You can change it if you're not a meat eater. If you don't like beef, change it up a little bit. Get you some chicken. Get you some pork. There's just so many ways to do it.
Well, and you hit on it, Bob. Probably the most important ingredient in any great meal is somebody that you don't know very well. Call a neighbor. Call a friend. Call somebody that
Absolutely.
you haven't seen in a while, and have them come over and fill that empty chair at your table. Do what Bob and I do. Play hard, eat well, obviously,
and cook with love.
and celebrate every day.
Absolutely, my friend.
You guys enjoy your holidays. From Bob,
And Chef Scotty,
amen.
Milestone Kitchen Kings.
Amen.
Come see us. We'll show you around the place, give you a little bit of help in your cooking, and show you some great appliances.
Have a wonderful, blessed holiday.
Happy
to all.
New Year's.
Happy New Year's.